Making these 4 improvements to my productivity was one of the most important factors in earning my first £100,000 in business. In 2022, I left my job to pursue property investing and sourcing full time. During the first 6 months, I would say that time management and productivity was probably my largest flaw. It wasn't because I didn't want to grow my business. I was just used to that set structure that came from my previous employers. And then all of a sudden I left them and I went to being in complete control of my own time. So after many weeks of working full time, where often I'd watch, 10 hours of cat videos and everything else that comes with it, I actually set some time aside to structure my days and become more productive. Like property investing, I don't think that someone truly becomes a master of productivity. It's just something that you have to continuously work on and be a student of. But even so, I now feel like I'm in a position where I can create a video and share some great tips with you. And my first one is the Pomodoro Timer. I hope I've said that right. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method developed by someone called Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s. The Pomodoro technique is the use of a kitchen timer to break work into intervals. Now, given that we're sitting in 2023, it's now probably a digital kitchen timer. And in fact, I'll put a link in the video description to one that I use, which is completely free. Just use the link and off you go. I don't use the timer for every single part of my day. If I have a specific task that I'm working on, which should in theory take only 20, 30 minutes worth of time, then I'll go and set the timer and get to work. Now, I'm aware of the time ticking away and not a minute of that time is now wasted on cat videos. Now, this leads nicely into my next productivity hack, which is the use of work blocks. The term work block is thrown around a lot in the entrepreneur and business world, but the way I use it is very simple. My mornings between 8 and 12 midday are for team meetings and for deep work only. And this can be for new projects, creating systems and making improvements to the business. I am generally most productive in this time and I just don't want any distractions. So rarely do I do calls within these hours. My next work block is 12 till 6 p.m, which are my day-to-day business tasks. It's client calls, sales calls, creating videos like this, one-to-ones with Property X training, program members, etc., etc. And then lastly, 6 till 7 p.m. is just catching up on admin. And if I haven't stayed on top of my admin during the day, then I'm staying late to catch up on any loose ends from the day. And the way that I effectively run this breakdown within my day is with the use of an online calendar, such as Google Calendar, which is my preferred method. And by using this, I've been able to completely overhaul and optimize my whole week. Now, there is actually something known as the Parkinsons Law, which I learned from watching an older video done by Ali Abdul, who speaks a lot about productivity. Parkinson's Law is that our work expands to the amount of time that we allocate to it. For example, if I was planning out this exact video and I wanted to give it an effective amount of time to collect my thoughts, write down my productivity techniques, and then transform them into a video script, well, that'd probably take me about 2 hours. However, if I don't set out a clear work block, I could easily drag this out and let this video absorb 4 hours of my time. And I've certainly done things like that in the past. Now, stick around with this video as you're going to really like tip number 4, I know it. But number 3 is actually around the use of diet and food. Now, I don't mean putting yourself on a diet and losing weight for the sake of productivity. But what I do mean is the use of eating at certain times of the day in order to stay as productive for as long as possible. Previous Justin used to wake up at 6 a.m, eat a big bowl of porridge, and then go to the gym. After the gym, I'd get to the office at 8, I'd then eat again. Then I'd eat again at midday, and by this point would have consumed, 12 to 1500 calories already. So by 2 p.m, when all that food was digesting, I was full up, had brain fog, and I was tired. So I was completely useless. Now, Justin 2.0 now does things completely differently. And I stumbled across this by accident. You see, I still wake up early, but I don't eat before the gym. I go straight to the gym, I get in a workout, and then I get to my office around 8 a.m. And then I still don't eat, and then I wait for as long as possible. Now, some days that's literally 8:05 a.m. because I'm so hungry, and then other days it's 10 or 11 a.m. before I need any food. Now, it's not necessarily just the timing, but it's also the quantity of food that I believe makes such a huge difference to productivity. Now, when I eat around 9, 10 or 11 a.m, I'm just having a small amount of lean protein. Total calories of, 250 maybe to 300 calories. Then I get back to work and I'll continue to work till 1 or 2 p.m. and then repeat this, but this time with slightly more calories, maybe 500. I then continue to work at maximum capacity until around 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. I'm hungry, I'm ready to head home, and I've only consumed, 8, maybe 900 calories up until this point. Now I appreciate this tip might not be for everyone, but I can guarantee you that if you give it a go, this tip will make you more productive during your day. Now for my final productivity hack, I'm actually giving you 4 for the price of 1 with this one tip alone, with the simple use of an acronym. The acronym is DEAL, and I actually learned this on a recent marketing and business mastermind that I attended last December. D stands for delegate. When I was starting my journey, I would literally do everything, literally everything. And I still do a lot of different roles right now, but only within the last 12 months have I actually started hiring people. In fact, I'm hiring at least 2 new members to my team this year. But back when I started my YouTube channel, for example, I would script the videos, I would film them myself, I would edit them, I would create a thumbnail, and each video would honestly take up and over 20 hours of work start till finish. Do the maths on the fact that I've created over 100 videos for my channel, and the time starts to add up incredibly quickly. After a year of running my channel, I decided to get help. My thought process was, by paying someone an hourly rate for the filming or the editing, I could manage to release some of my time to A, get some life back, and B, be able to focus on something that could grow my business and probably earn me more than the hourly rate that I was paying someone else for help. So the D stands for delegate. The E stands for eliminate. Okay, so what can you actually eliminate from your life? What is serving you well in your day-to-day tasks? Whether that is checking social media, can you eliminate doing that as much as possible? Perhaps locking your phone away in the cupboard for the morning. I know I have to do that sometimes. Could you perhaps even eliminate some of the people you follow? If you follow 1,000 people on Instagram, can you get that down to 50 people? Reduce them. Less noise and distraction will equals more productivity. So if 60% of your time is being taken up by one particular customer, maybe you could even look at ending the relationship with that customer. Release more of your time to find clients that replace that income and doesn't suck the life out of you. And now you can spend time growing your business. And well, if E is for eliminate, A is for automate. And in the current times, using automation should be essential. For anyone that has signed up to my sourcing or program mailing lists on the Property X website, where you are likely to have seen an automated email come from Property X. And this is automation at the most simple level. So when a new task comes up, you need to ask yourself, can I automate this? And the chances are it will probably take a fair amount of time to actually set up that automation. But once it's up and running, the time saving will be hugely beneficial and therefore lead to productivity. And lastly, L is for leverage. If the task, the person, or the meeting can't be delegated, can't be eliminated, or can't be automated, then is there some way that you can maximize it and leverage it? The biggest and best uses of leverage are in the form of social media marketing, from the virality of it, using debt, or even using your network to connect with people. So if you're a business and you are busy and you are earning money, then the chances are that you need to reinvest some of that money into these areas, so that when a new task comes up in the future, you can ask yourself this: how do I deal with it? Can I delegate it? Can I eliminate it? Can I automate it? Or can I leverage it? And that concludes this video. I hope it's been useful. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next week.